So yeah, Caitlin Clark is going to be an all-star. And if you guys have not seen the media, what the media are doing, I'm just sitting there like, why do they think this is going to be any different? Why did they think this was going to be any different? Because most of the media who are voting for Caitlin for the all-star team. Why? For a number of reasons.
The WNBA All-Star Game is supposed to be a celebration of the league's brightest stars, a showcase of talent, charisma, and basketball excellence. But in 2025, it's become something more. A cultural flashpoint, a lightning rod for debates about merit, popularity, and the future of women's basketball. At the center of this storm is Caitlin Clark, the Indiana Fever's rookie phenom, who has waltzed into the All-Star Game like she owns the league, earning a captaincy alongside Minnesota Lynx star Napheesa Collier. With over 29 million fan votes, Clark didn't just secure a spot. She obliterated the competition, outpacing the combined vote total of the top 30 players from the 2023 All-Star Game. And yet, the announcement of her selection has ignited a firestorm of controversy, with rival fans, pundits, and self-proclaimed purists losing their collective minds. Why? Because Caitlin Clark isn't just a player. She's a phenomenon, a disruptor, a walking paradigm shift who's forcing everyone to rethink what an all-star truly means. Let's set the stage. The 2025 ATT WNBA All-Star Game is shaping up to be one of the most talked about events in the league's history, and it's no surprise why. Clark, in her rookie season, has become the face of the WNBA, a gravitational force pulling in new fans, boosting ratings, and selling out arenas faster than you can say, Logo 3. Her selection as an all-star captain alongside the Lynx's Napheesa Collier, who's having an MVP caliber season, feels like a no-brainer. Clark's stats are elite.
Caitlin Clark, the only WNBA player receiving over 500,000 fan votes for the WNBA All-Star Game. Aaliyah Boston, Kelsey Mitchell, Lexi Hull, the Fever 4, sitting in the top 10 when it comes to WNBA fan voting for the All-Star Game. Every chance the Indiana Fever fans, every chance Caitlin Clark fans, every time they have a chance to show up.
Stats are elite. 16.3 points, 2 assists, and 5 rebounds per game as a rookie, all while navigating the kind of defensive pressure that would make most veterans crumble. She's set records, including the most 20-point, 10-assist games by a guard, and nearly dropped a 30-point triple-double against an undefeated New York Liberty team. But it's not just the numbers. Clark's presence is electric, her audacity unmatched. She's pulling up from the logo, threading no-look passes through defenses and making the impossible look like a casual Tuesday night at the YMCA. This is a player who doesn't just play basketball, she redefines it. And yet, the announcement of her all-star selection has unleashed a torrent of outrage from certain corners of the basketball world. Rival fan bases are in meltdown mode, typing in all caps at 2 a.m. on Twitter X, clutching their team's 14-21 record like a life raft while decrying Clark's inclusion as some kind of grand injustice. The haters are melting down faster than an ice cream cone in a Phoenix summer, and the reasons are as varied as they are absurd.
So the two best players in the WNBA, at least to me, are all-star captains, that being Caitlin Clark and Napheesa Collier. Of course, Clark, Indiana Fever superstar, Collier, star of the Lynx, who is having an MVP season. Clark has had a little bit of an up and down season for her, relatively speaking, because she's been in and out of the lineup. Collier did miss a few games with a back issue as well. And of course, Clark had the shooting slump before she went out with the latest injury. Don't know how much that was related or is related, but Clark's impact on the floor is apparent when you see her there and when you see her off, and her numbers are still awesome. Not to mention, she's by far the most popular player in the league, and this is decided by fan voting, and it makes you feel good about what the exhibition can be in.
Well, it's pretty clear. There are two key WNBA players that are on a different level than the rest of the WNBA. And when it comes to Caitlin Clark, she's even another step up from the person that finished second. But look, it'd be irresponsible of me not to mention Napheesa Collier in all this because, well, she got over 1.1 million votes herself.
First,
some claim she's overhyped, a media creation propped up by fan votes and nothing more. Others argue she hasn't earned her spot. pointing to her occasional shooting slumps or the fact that she's a rookie who hasn't paid her dues. And then there's the crowd that insists her popularity is a disqualifier, as if being wildly entertaining is somehow a sin in a league that thrives on spectacle. Buckle up, because this drama is messier than a group chat with exes, and we're diving headfirst into the chaos. Let's start with the cold, hard facts, because the numbers tell a story that no amount of Twitter X ranting can erase. Caitlin Clark isn't just putting up stats, she's rewriting the record books. As a rookie, she's averaging 16.3 points, 6, 2 assists, and 5 rebounds per game, numbers that would be impressive for a seasoned veteran, let alone someone playing their first professional season. She's the only guard in the WNBA with a triple-double this year, and she's racked up multiple 20-point, 10-assist games, including one during a shooting slump that still saw her dominate the floor. Against the undefeated Liberty, she nearly posted a 30-point triple-double, dropping 32 points, 9 assists, and 8 rebounds in a win that sent shockwaves through the league. These aren't the stats of a flash-in-the-pan hype machine. They're the calling card of a generational talent. But it's not just about the box score. Clark's impact goes beyond numbers, creating a gravitational pull that warps the game around her. Defenses are doubling her by default, throwing their entire game plan into...
Caitlin, when she's played, has been the best guard in the WNBA. She has. I mean this when I say this. It is it's not like she's like a stratospherically better than a Skylar Diggins, but she's been better when she's been on the floor than any other guard. Even in her slump, she had a 20 and 10 game. She had a 20 and 10 game in her slump. She set the record for most 20 and 10 games. She's the only guard with triple-double. She had a 32, 9, and 8. She nearly had a 30-point triple-double in a win against the Liberty, who at that stage were
throwing their entire game plan into chaos just to slow her down. Her teammates are learning her tendencies on the fly, adjusting to a player who sees the court like a chess grandmaster playing 3 moves ahead. And the referees? They might as well have their whistles surgically attached, because every time Clark drives to the basket, it's a foul fest. This isn't a rookie experience. It's a crash course in surviving a basketball Hunger Games, where every opponent is gunning for her and every game is a referendum on her greatness. And yet the critics still cry foul. They point to her shooting slumps as if every player doesn't go through rough patches. They highlight her turnovers, conveniently ignoring the fact that she's running an offense under more pressure than most veterans face in a career. They argue she hasn't played enough games, sidestepping the inconvenient truth that her impact is undeniable even in limited minutes. If 16.3 points, 6, 2 assists, and 5 rebounds per game as a rookie with a permanent target on her back doesn't scream all-star, then maybe we should redefine the entire concept.
Caitlin Clark proves once again, nobody really started to care about the WNBA until she started playing. In 2023, in the WNBA All-Star voting, they got a total of 1.17 million votes, just a year before Caitlin Clark joined the league. 2 years later, 1.29 million votes as a single player.
Well, what do you know? What do you know? Caitlin Clark does it again. Shout out to Nafisa Collier. Caitlin Clark and Nafisa Collier are named your all-star captains. Well deserved, well deserved. Caitlin Clark is the GOAT. Nafisa Collier is playing like the best player in the league right now. My front runner for MVP, playing for a dominant Minnesota Lynx team. This is right. You guys got it right. They should be the all-star captains.
Entire concept.
Healthy, by the way.
Maybe we should scrap the game altogether and replace it with a cornhole tournament featuring backup mascots, because clearly the bar for deserving is somewhere underwater. The most infuriating argument from the anti-Clark brigade is that her all-star selection is driven by popularity, not merit. Let's unpack that for a second. Since when did being wildly entertaining become a bad thing? The WNBA isn't a tax seminar. It's a business, a spectacle, a cultural moment meant to captivate audiences, spark debates, and sell tickets. Clark isn't just part of the WNBA ecosystem. She's the marketing department, brand manager, and executive producer rolled into one. Her arrival in the league didn't just move the needle, it replaced the needle entirely. Ratings have spiked, attendance has doubled, and merchandise is selling out faster than Beyoncé tickets. In 2023, before Clark joined the league, the top 30 vote-getters for the All-Star Game combined for 1.17 million votes. In 2025, Clark alone pulled in 1.29 million. That's not a fluke, it's a revolution. The All-Star game thrives on star power, and Clark has it in spades. She's not just a highlight reel. She's the whole reel. The reason fans tune in. The reason casual viewers are suddenly glued to their screens.
Healthy, by the way. There was no slumping Sabrina Ionescu. Like, Sabrina Ionescu had 32 or 34, and they still managed to win from Caitlin Clark. It is genuinely an unquestionable one that Caitlin Clark has been top 4 guards. And I think, it's unquestionable when she's played that it's top 4 guard. I think if you wanted to not vote her in, if 50% of the media people did not vote Caitlin Clark in as an all-star, and their logic was she hasn't played enough games, and the 4 all-stars were Alicia Gray, Caitlin's been better than Sabrina.
Screens.
Delusional.
Without her, the All-Star game risks becoming Snooze Fest 2025, featuring backup centers and mild applause. Nobody's shelling out $300 for resale tickets to watch balanced basketball or strategic low-post defense. They're here for the flash, the sizzle, the superstar wattage that Clark brings with a single eyebrow raise. To pretend otherwise is to ignore the reality of what makes sports compelling. Popularity isn't a disqualifier, it's a feature, not a bug. Clark's ability to draw eyes to the WNBA is a lifeline for a league that's spent years fighting for relevance in a crowded sports landscape. And let's not act like her popularity is some manufactured media conspiracy. The media isn't out here cooking stats in a secret underground lab. Clark's impact is real, measurable, and undeniable. She's not just trendy, she's transformative. Every time she touches the ball, something insane might happen. A logo 3, a no-look pass through a wall of defenders, a casual 20-10 game in the middle of a slump. She's doing things that shouldn't be legal without a Marvel logo slapped on her jersey. Fans aren't tuning in because she's a media darling. They're tuning in because she's must-see TV, a player who makes every game feel like an event. So why the outrage? Why are rival fans and self-appointed gatekeepers so furious about Clark's all-star nod? It's not about merit, it's about ego. Clark's meteoric rise has disrupted the WNBA's carefully
fan base that follows her disrespected the WNBA players by saying she's going to go in that league and tear it apart. These people are so disrespectful and so unknowledgeable and so stupid. And Diana said it best. This kid's in for a rude awakening. This kid's on the wrong team. She's got the wrong skill set to handle the physicality of that league. This rookie class isn't even one of the best rookie classes in the last 10 years. She's just not built for the physicality of this league.
All-Star game, she was number 2, which tells you exactly how freaking many votes Caitlin Clark got. Because Caitlin was first. We'll get to that in a second, but here we are, right here. Caitlin Clark and Nafisa Collier named the 2025 AT&T WNBA All-Star Game Team Captains. Clark earns her 2nd All-Star selection, Collier her 5th. Both players are All-Star captains for the first time.
They selected captains. Well, they were selected captains by being amongst the starters receiving the most fan votes. And the way this all broke down is that it's 50% fan votes, 25% media votes, 25% player votes. So that's how it all came to be. That's how the breakdown of the way that the voting process goes and how the players...
The WNBA's carefully curated hierarchy, where rookies are supposed to wait their turn and pay their dues before earning the spotlight. But Clark didn't wait in line. She walked in, turned up the music, rearranged the furniture, and started throwing logo 3s like she owns the place. And maybe she does. Her arrival has exposed cracks in everyone else's game, forcing veterans to rethink how they guard the perimeter and making entire franchises question their relevance in a league suddenly dominated by a 22-year-old rookie. The haters' playbook is predictable. They cherry-pick her flaws, turnovers, a shooting slump, a missed rotation from 3 games ago, and act like those outweigh her contributions. They whisper, "Please mess up, like it's some bizarre sports voodoo ritual, scouring every game for a single mistake to justify their narrative. They claim she's only popular because of media bias, ignoring the fact that her 29 million votes came from fans, not a shadowy cabal of ESPN executives. They argue she's not built for the WNBA's physicality, conveniently forgetting that she's already survived a gauntlet of double teams, hard fouls, and referee bias that would break most players. And then there's the ultimate cop-out. She's only in because of her fans. As if fans, 50% of the All-Star voting process, are somehow irrelevant to a league that survives on ticket sales and viewership. This isn't about basketball anymore. It's about change, bold and undeniable. Clark represents a seismic shift in the WNBA, a rookie who's rewriting the rules and refusing to play by the old wait your turn playbook. The people most bothered by her success aren't mad because she's undeserving. They're mad because she's shaking up their carefully curated basketball gatekeeping. They don't hate her. They hate what she represents. A new era where charisma, talent, and impact matter more than tenure. Clark is the engine, the fuel, and the fire all in one, and her critics are terrified of what that says about their own fading grip on relevance. Let's be real. The WNBA isn't a neighborhood pickup league where everyone gets a juice box and a participation ribbon. It's a business, with payrolls, sponsors, and arenas that need to be filled. Clark isn't just an athlete, she's a walking, dribbling stimulus package, the kind of star the WNBA has been praying for since its inception. Her games are events, cultural moments that transcend basketball. She's turned casual fans into obsessives, and obsessives into full-blown analytics nerds poring over box scores like they're deciphering the Rosetta Stone. Without her, the league risks losing the momentum it's gained, the new fans who finally discovered women's basketball, the sponsors who are suddenly willing to invest. The All-Star Game is the perfect stage to showcase Clark's star power, and the league knows it. The voting process, 50% fan votes, 25% media votes, 25% player votes, reflects the reality that fans drive the WNBA's success. Clark's 1.29 million votes aren't just a popularity contest. They're a mandate, a signal that she's the league's biggest draw. To sideline her in the name of fairness would be like telling Beyoncé to step back so the backup dancers can have their moment. It's not favoritism, it's survival. The WNBA is capitalizing on its most valuable asset, and anyone who thinks that's a bad thing is living in a fantasy land where ticket sales are powered by vibes and righteous indignation. And yet, the purists keep clutching their vintage box scores, whining about integrity while ignoring the elephant in the room. Clark is doing more for the WNBA than any PR campaign ever has. She's the drawbridge to a new generation of fans, sponsors, and believers, a player who makes every game feel like a must-watch event. Her stats are elite, her vision is ridiculous, and her court presence is enough to make seasoned veterans rethink their entire defensive strategy. If that's not all-star material, then maybe we should start picking players based on vibes and astrology charts, because clearly the traditional metrics aren't cutting it. Here's the kicker. While the haters are busy yelling that Clark shouldn't be in the All-Star game, her fans are stressing about whether she's even healthy enough to play. Clark has had an up-and-down season health-wise, missing games due to minor injuries and navigating the physical toll of being the most targeted player in the league. The same fans who are cheering her All-Star nod are also the ones worrying about her knees, her ankles, her long-term durability. We're not just invested in Clark's stardom, we're invested in her well-being. If she sits out the All-Star game to protect her body, we'll respect the hell out of that because she's not a one-hit wonder or a viral moment. She's the franchise, the face, the reason some people even know the WNBA exists. This is the irony of the anti-Clark crusade. While her critics are obsessing over her inclusion, her fans are obsessing over her health. We don't want her risking a blown ACL just to satisfy some warped sense of fairness from fans who'd rather watch their favorite player get clapped in silence than admit Clark's impact. She could sit out the entire All-Star weekend, and we'd still be tuning in just to see if someone accidentally makes eye contact with her courtside. That's how invested we are. Clark doesn't need to touch a basketball to be the main event. She's already the story. In the end, the Caitlin Clark All-Star saga isn't just about one player or one game. It's about the future of the WNBA, a league that's finally found a star who can carry it into the mainstream. Clark isn't just part of the WNBA story. She's the plot twist, the moment everything changed. Her 29 million votes, her record-setting performances, her ability to make every game feel like a cultural moment. These are the signs of a player who's bigger than the game itself. She's not just a highlight reel. She's the whole reel. The reason fans are glued to their screens, the reason arenas are packed, the reason the WNBA is finally getting the attention it deserves. So yeah, rival fans are furious, and they should be. Their carefully curated basketball gatekeeping just got dunked on by a rookie in her first season, and it wasn't even close. Clark didn't just earn her spot in the All-Star game, she redefined what an All-Star is supposed to look like. It's not just about stats or highlight reels. It's about influence, consistency, and a fearless sense of purpose that doesn't ask for permission to shine. The WNBA isn't some neighborhood pickup league, it's a business, and Clark is its biggest asset. The day the league tries to sideline her just to play nice with a Twitter X echo chamber is the day we all revolt. Keep her healthy, keep her happy, keep her front and center where she belongs. Because this isn't just about Caitlin Clark, it's about a movement. And this movement doesn't do quiet.
It's truly always something with the WNBA. So the first returns on All-Star voting recently came back. And of course, Caitlin Clark was ranked number 1 with the most votes, Nafisa Collier number 2, Aaliyah Boston number 3, Asia Wilson number 4, and Stewie number 5. No problems with any of those. But I do have a problem with the All-Star voting. So for those that don't know, fan votes make up 50% of the All-Star votes. And 4 Fever players are in the top 10 for All-Star voting. Fucking ridiculous.
1.29 million All-Star votes this year. For reference, the top 30 vote getters for the 2023 All-Star Game received 1.17 million All-Star votes combined. She outdid the whole 2023 vote getters combined. And y'all are saying it's because of who too? Are y'all crazy? Are y'all crazy? This is not a needle mover. This is the needle. This is not the icing on the cake. Caitlin Clark is the whole cake.